Greetings, my name is Monty Martin.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin.
And we are the Dungeon Dudes. And today we are checking out Pathfinder 2nd Edition for the very first time.
Now, Pathfinder 2nd Edition, we picked up the core rulebook, but as you can see, this is a very thick rulebook. And until Monty and I go through this whole thing and have a few games under our belts, we might not be able to talk in depth about this. So we decided to start somewhere a little easier.
We picked up the beginner box. I think I got the last copy of this from our FLGS. Worth noting, when we went into our local FLGS, these were like the last copies on the shelves.
Yeah. The Pathfinder section was empty. Yeah. Reports are that they sold 8 months worth of books in the span of like a couple weeks.
Yeah.
So a lot of people picking up Pathfinder for the first time. And we're no experts at Pathfinder, but today we're going to crack open the beginner box, look at what's inside, and give our thoughts and feelings on it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying out this adventure as Game Master. I know that there's a lot of groups out there that are making the switch to Pathfinder 2nd Edition. And for myself, what's really important to me is we talked with a lot of other amazing people in the Pathfinder community about playing games with them. But the reality of it is that for most folks out there that are making the switch, as a GM, you're probably going to not have the benefit of having played the system before you get to run it. So that's what we're going to do with our little experiment. I'm going to run Pathfinder without having played it at all before. And Kelly's going to be the one that gets to have that player experience. And we got a few of our other friends that we're going to play through the beginner box adventure with together. So in a couple weeks, once we get that done, we'll have the full report on how the adventure went and our impressions of the system. But for now, we're just going to crack open the beginner box and see what's actually inside here.
So let's get the sword of opening.
Alrighty. Do it to it. It's been a while since we've had the sword open. Okay? Please do not stab me, though.
Like a charm.
Still sharp.
Still sharp.
Alrighty. So this is a pretty meaty box. So one of the first things I'll say, for us here in Canada, this was like $60. So I think it's $40 US, so it is pricier. But it feels like there's a lot more inside.
So opening it up, the first thing we get are little baggies. What do they have in them? These are for the pawns.
These are for the pawns, okay.
And we have our dice set. Now, immediately what I like about the dice set, something that I learned is that when you're a new player getting into RPGs, having the dice be different colors can actually be really beneficial. A lot of companies don't do this, but actually having different colors for each die allows the dungeon master or game master to tell their player, hey, roll the D20. Well, what's the D20? Well, it's the red die. Or roll your D10. It's the green die. Just gives a little bit more nuance to being able to differentiate the dice.
Okay, so then right away there is a giant read this first warning on top with a box components sheet on the back in full color. So it says, read this first. I do like this read this first warning. I do like this. What is Pathfinder? Pathfinder is a cooperative tabletop fantasy role-playing game, also called an RPG, a fantasy adventure. Grab some friends and play the heroes in an adventuring party. Go on a quest, explore mysterious environments, battle dangerous monsters, find treasure, tell a story together. I'm in! And then if you're on your own, so there is a solo adventure.
Nice.
Pirate King's Plunder, which will teach you the basics of the game. And if you have a group, it actually says if you want to start right away, if you want to make your own character, and if you want to be the game master. Okay, so then there's a few different things in here. So we've got the dice.
Yeah.
So then we've got 13 bases and one large base. And we have 124 pawns. It's 124 pawns.
That is exceptional. There's part of me that thinks that pawns are a really good way to go if you're just getting started in RPGs to get into mini collecting. You might not have the budget or the ability to collect a ton of pre-painted minis, but pawns are a really good gateway in.
That's a lot, too. Like
and including 120?
That's a lot.
That's going to cover all your bases, I imagine.
Literally cover all your... Yeah.
Literally.
So then we've got these player reference cards. So check them out. So Okay, do you remember when we were first getting when I was first getting us into RPGs and stuff, and I made these for us?
Yes.
Yes.
These are brilliant.
Yes. I don't know if this is good for so the back is conditions and the front is actions on your turn. Okay. So that's pretty clear.
I think that this is a great inclusion into any starter set. Handing these out to the players is just really helpful. I've designed these in the past for new players.
So I'm just going to say this. I really want to avoid making comparisons. But I'm just saying that on this card, it feels to me like, just having glossed over the rules of Pathfinder so far, it feels like on this card are all the things that are different between 2nd edition Pathfinder and D&D 5e.
Fair enough.
Like, it really tells you, like, the 3-action economy is kind of front and center on these.
Even as an experienced D&D player, I'm going to be happy to have this in front of me while I'm playing Pathfinder, and I think that's really invaluable. I really love this.
I think these are the pre-gens next. So this looks really beefy, actually. Valeros the Fighter. Ezrin, Kyra the Cleric, and Marizel the Rogue. And it says on the front, like, play this character if you want to. And then it's got their backstory on the back.
Another huge positive. I love that each one has the play the rogue if you want to, or the play the wizard if you want to. I think that that's, even before you open up the packet, you could present these to your players, have them read what each one is. And if you're brand new to RPGs, this is a great way to say, like...
Dude, just open the inside. Like, look at the inside. Look at what it does. Like, look at how it explains everything on it. It's... Everything is numbered and labeled. All the dice are, like, the dice... This is extremely beginner friendly. Like, this is... Like...
I'm incredibly impressed. This is designed for people who are new to RPGs in a way that really, really helps get you into the game.
Yeah.
I'm madly impressed with this.
So the cleric, Kyra, it explains how spellcasting is working in here. And the rogue? Oh, it's explaining how sneak attack and stuff works.
Sneak attack, low light vision, subtle theft, surprise attack.
Okay. And so the spellcasting is explained for the wizard, and then so for the fighter...
For the fighter, I have attack of opportunity, shield, sudden charge.
Wow. That's really well designed. Like, I feel like this is... A lot of thought has gone into making this very clear for a new player. Like, this is, like, it's colorful too. Like, that's, I think one of the things that really strikes me about this is the way that like, in this 2-page spread, everything is labeled and everything is, like, explained.
So on the page, all of your letters are in yellow, and then you can match them with what they do over on this side. Also, earlier I talked about the benefit of color-coded dice, but...
And it's reiterated.
It's reiterated right here. So I don't even, as a DM, need to explain what the colors mean. I could say, roll your D20. They can look at their character sheet and see that the D20 is the red die.
It's the red one. And the red, that's a good choice. The red one. Like, the red one or the blue. And the D12's the blue one. So that actually makes it really... Yeah. The biggest contrast is... That's very well thought out. I feel like... This color-coded dice thing, I know that there have been a lot of things like this, but, like, this really is the gold standard for new players. Like, I think that this is the color-coded dice. If you're introducing people who have never played an RPG before to an RPG, this is your secret weapon.
Yeah,
it really is.
I even know experienced players that pick up the wrong die still. So I mean, it's so beneficial if you struggle with knowing which die to pick up. Color code your dice.
So then we do get 2 blank sheets. 2 blank? 3 blank? A couple blank ones? A couple blank ones.
There's some more.
Oh, there's more. There's more. Okay, so there's a whole stack. So we can't... So I guess there must be the rules for character creation in here. Because if it's giving us blank character sheets...
Yes. So there are 2 books in this box. I read the back of the box where it told me what was included. There are 2 books in this box as well. So we do get the Beginner's Box Game Master's Guide. So before we get to character creation, Game Master's Guide, this has an adventure in it. It has all the rules that you need for running the game. And it also has the stats for several monsters and a few different environments and things to bring to life there.
So there's like an impromptu GM screen on the back of it. It's not really a... Is there a GM screen in here?
I don't think so.
No. Wow, there's an index.
Yay. We love an index.
Yeah, we love an index. We do. So the question that I have now is, how long is the adventure? Paizo does make like good flip mats. So this is pretty sturdy. Like, this is not just like poster paper. Like, this is more than just...
Yeah. So I'm assuming the adventure only uses maybe 2 maps.
So it's like a pair of 5-room dungeons. Okay.
So we also have the Hero's Handbook. This has all the rules that you need for creating your character and all the standard rules of playing the game as a player character. So 2 separate books, one for the GM, one for the players. You have your adventure, you have your creating player characters, and then at the bottom of the box we have our pawns.
Okay. And the rules quick reference is the same on the back. So I kind of like that there's more than... There's a lot of like reference material. Okay, so the pawns are pretty good, dude. Check them out. Like, they're very sturdy. There's a lot of different monsters. We got your standard wolves, you got your zombies, you got your skeletons, you got your orcs.
Got a bunch of kobolds.
You got your spiders.
Kobolds and goblins.
Yep. And that's a good number too. Like, you've got like 4 or 5 of each monster, which is pretty good.
We have an owlbear, so I mean, we're good.
So you get fewer bases than you do pawns. So what you're going to have to do with these is hot swap them.
Depending on the part of the adventure you're in. Another thing that I do really like here, though, is that each of the tiles of pawns also has your action tokens and your...
Do you get enough for every player to have one?
Yeah, and your reaction tokens. So you have enough here that you can hand them out to every player so that they have actual tokens that they can...
Oh, no. Look at this. Look at, you punch them out.
And they go on the
card.
Reference.
That is... I'm impressed with that.
That's
I'm
brilliant.
Impressed with that. That's very smart. That is very smart. And there's enough for each... There's enough
player.
for each player. Yep.
So they've really made this user friendly. I'm super impressed with the attention to new players that is being taken here. The invite to this system is really great. The invite to participate in this system, it just feels like this box set offers a lot. I'm really impressed, actually. I think overall, the fact that it comes with so many pawns to get you started with mini collecting, the user-friendly nature of the dice, the reference cards, the character sheets, everything in this package, the tokens, is really brilliantly laid out to invite new players to get into the system quickly and easily. For a system that I believe, at first glance, is somewhat more complex in the grand scheme of TTRPGs. This box does a lot to soften the blow of the complexities and invite you to play immediately, and I think that that's brilliant design.
There is an exquisite level of thought that has gone into designing this box around usability and playability and streamlining the beginner experience. And honestly, I've opened up a couple beginner boxes for a couple different systems, and this kind of blows the... Like, just opening all the stuff, and as an experienced RPG player, seeing what's in here, I'm going like, oh, these are all the things that, like, you go on Reddit to find. These are all the things... Like, I think of all those DMs who have gone to Reddit, gone to the internet, gone to Facebook groups, and downloaded all those beginner-friendly sheets, downloaded all those graphic design things and all those new player things, and it feels like they thought of every single thing that people go to the internet to find, and, like, let's just put it in a box. Like, let's just make sure that it's in the box with you when you start.
Not to mention that whether you're an experienced player or brand new, I think that even as an experienced player, I'm excited just to have so many references, so many tokens. It really makes it easier. I wish that we had more of that in other RPGs. And I will say that, like, I'm thoroughly impressed. I'm a little anxious about getting into Pathfinder, just because it generally doesn't tick as many boxes as some other RPGs, but I am excited about the prospect of some of the things it offers. This has made me feel more comfortable about the idea of jumping in, and that's as a very experienced RPG player. I also feel like, given the RPGs that I've played, I feel like this is the box set that I could put down in front of my parents, who are in their 70s and have never played a TTRPG, and say, hey guys, tonight we're playing an RPG. This will help you through it.
Looking at this, so the adventure in this book is 14, 15 pages long. Looking at all this, I feel for myself as a GM, I would learn the system faster just by running that adventure and just figuring it out as I go along than I will but from reading that book. I actually feel like that book is going to confuse me more.
The book is daunting, but this is
Yeah.
consumable in a way that is, like, brilliant.
Like I feel like with this box, knowing the ropes around RPGs already, I feel like I could just run it. Like I do. It instills me with a lot more confidence, especially given how organized everything looks. Like the fact that there is an index, the fact that there are these reference cards. I was glancing through the GM book at how the monster stat blocks are laid out in a very, very organized fashion as well, and how they've kind of parsed everything out and put all the material that the players need for their characters. Because I think the biggest thing for me that worries me about running Pathfinder as a game master is that I feel like the volume of player character options that I need to be prepared for is larger. And I also am I have a little bit of concerns about the smoothness of the 3-action economy for me as a game master when I'm controlling monsters. But I feel now, having looked at all this, those two concerns were maybe not unfounded, but feel like surmountable things.
What I'm going to say, we still have to play the box set, and we will have an official report once we've done that. But from first glance, I'm going to say that if you are thinking of getting into Pathfinder, I would say that this should be your starting point.
This is an S-tier starting box.
This is the best starting box I've seen for a TTRPG.
And I feel like every other TTRPG publisher should look at this box and be like, just... I know people get ragged on of like Pathfinder did it, Simpsons did it, whatever, but like this is a gold standard right here of like what a starter box should look like and what should be included in one, and at least at the first glance of how information should be laid out. And those reference sheets and character sheets,
those are
really
brilliant.
Good, really, really good.
A 10 out of 10. Pick up this box set. If you're thinking of jumping into Pathfinder, this is such a helpful place to start.
I had heard this was good. I didn't know it was. I heard this beginner box was good. I didn't realize like it was going to be this good.
I won't lie. I feel like my biases are getting checked in the opening of this box because people were like, the Pathfinder box set is amazing, and I'm like, yeah, so is the D&D one. So is every box set. They're all amazing. Yeah. But opening this one up, I get it. It's good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. So
if you've grabbed the box set for Pathfinder or are interested in jumping into Pathfinder or have been playing Pathfinder for years, tell us your thoughts on it in the comments below.
The videos that we create on our channel are made possible thanks to the incredible generosity of all of our Patreon supporters. If you enjoy the work that we do here on YouTube, please consider supporting us by following the links in the description below.
And if you want to see us playing TTRPGs, you can check out our actual play in the Worlds of Drakenheim, which airs Tuesday evenings on Twitch. You can find all the previous episodes right up over here.
And we have dipped our toes into covering a couple different RPGs beyond the big behemoth itself, and you can check out some of those videos right up over here.
Please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and ring that bell so that you never miss an episode.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time
in the dungeon.